From the St. Louis Public Radio newsroom, this is The Gateway. It's Wednesday, September 4th. I'm Abby Larico. A fight between Missouri's governor and Secretary of State over the ban of hemp-derived drugs is leaving farmers and businesses in the hemp industry in limbo.
Bankers are calling, asking what's going on, what's going to happen, how we're going to cover the bills. I don't have those answers.
We'll have more on the reasons for this ban and the impact of its delay coming up on The Gateway. Members of a Palestinian dance troupe say they're being excluded from the St. Louis Art Fair because of their ethnicity. Art Fair leaders say they simply hadn't received enough information in time to book the group. St. Louis Public Radio's Jeremy Goodwin reports.
Canaan Wellsprings members thought they were headed for the St. Louis Art Fair after selecting one of the performance times an intern offered them. Then the Art Fair's director abruptly told them there were no time slots left. The Art Fair chair says organizers thought Canaan Wellspring might be a political organization and couldn't confirm in time that its focus is dance. Dance troupe manager Hanan Hamed says the fair is misconstruing an expression of Palestinian culture as inherently controversial.
It's like they're asking us to not exist. I think it's just a way to erase a culture and erase its people. I really would love people to know that we Palestinians, we love life, we love to dance. We are people.
The art fair is set for this weekend in Clayton. I'm Jeremy Goodwin, St. Louis Public Radio.
Applications will open soon for St. Louis County's senior property tax freeze. A new state law makes more people eligible, removes the cap on home values, and freezes all taxes rather than just the local portion of property tax. Applicants must be 62 years old and can only claim the freeze for a single primary residence. St. Louis County will only accept applications through an online portal. The deadline will be June 30th of next year. Cardiovascular issues were the number one cause of pregnancy-related deaths in Missouri between 2017 and 2021, according to a new report released by the State Department of Health and Senior Services. St. Louis Public Radio's Sarah Fenton reports during that period, for every 100,000 births in the state, more than 32 people died of pregnancy-related complications within 1 year.
The latest report is the first that includes the year after the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic. During the pandemic's first year, mental health issues became the top cause of pregnancy-related deaths. Ashley Otto is a nurse who oversees the state's pregnancy-associated mortality review program. She says the new report finds cardiovascular issues have again overtaken mental health problems as a leading cause of pregnancy-related mortality.
We still had an increased number in 2021 than what we had in years past, but we are slowly seeing that number coming down.
Otto says many of the state's deaths happen more than 43 days after a person gave birth. That could be because they stopped doctor's visits or lost insurance coverage. I'm Sarah Fenton, St. Louis Public Radio.
Missouri's Children's Division says they've sharply reduced the number of open child abuse and neglect cases in the St. Louis area. But St. Louis Public Radio's Jason Rosenbaum reports some policymakers are concerned the positive momentum may not last.
The Missouri Independent reported that the St. Louis branch of the Children's Division only had 74 cases that remained open after 45 days. That's way down from roughly a year ago when the office that encompasses St. Louis and St. Louis County had more than 6,000 outstanding cases. But lawmakers like Democratic State Representative Carrie Engel have been worried that momentum may not last if investigators who look into suspected abuse and neglect don't receive pay increases.
If you can go somewhere else and make significantly more money without having to deal with that incredibly stressful workload, why would you not do that?
Investigators have a starting salary of around $44,000 a year. I'm Jason Rosenbaum, St. Louis Public Radio.
A college application initiative aims to enroll more students in Missouri universities without them actually having to apply. As St. Louis Public Radio's Lauren Brennicke reports, several colleges are accepting students through a direct admission program.
High school seniors can go without essays, recommendation letters, and the entire formal application through the direct admission program at 7 Missouri universities. The University of Missouri St. Louis uses Niche, a college search website, to offer students an immediate conditional offer based on their GPA. Reggie Hill is Vice Chancellor for Strategic Enrollment at UMSL. He says the initiative simplifies the application process, especially for first-generation students.
We actually reverse engineer that process, and essentially we know what students we will accept, and we offer them a conditional admission and their scholarship on the front end.
At UMSL, 76 students enrolled this fall from the more than 800 automatically accepted. I'm Lauren Brennicky, St. Louis Public Radio.
A coveted heavyweight championship title has gone to a local plant. The Missouri Botanical Garden won first place in the Denver Botanic Gardens International Water Lily Weigh-Off competition on social media. Gardens and zoos competed to stack weights on water lilies floating in their ponds. Mobot won by piling 142 pounds on a floating lily. At 5 feet across, it was the largest pad in the pool. And how did they do it? Garden horticulturists Claire Croft and Greta Berg had this to say on Instagram.
Our pool is heated. We have a little bit of warmer climate. We're able to start them a little earlier. And we've had a really long, hot summer, so the water lilies have been beefing up and prepping for this all year. Yeah.
The St. Louis winner bested competition from New York, Chicago, and London. You grow, girl. When Missouri Secretary of State Jay Ashcroft blocked Governor Mike Parson's emergency order banning the sale of hemp-derived drugs, he delayed the ban by at least 6 months. As Harshan Ratanpal reports, the looming ban leaves farmers and businesses in Missouri's hemp industry holding their breath.
Thousands of people gathered at the Ozark Amphitheater in Camden County, excited to hear 80s bands Warrant and Firehouse perform. It's the middle of August, the temperature is in the high 80s, and the sun is beating down on the outdoor venue. To cool themselves off, concertgoers can pick between the usual concession stand fare: beer, water, ice cream. But if they're looking to feel even more relaxed,
We launched into a recreational drink line called You Are Lit. We do 5 milligrams of THC in them, so it's a nice social drink, not one and done. It's so the people that don't want beer or alcohol in bars, they have another drink they can have and be sociable about it.
That's Brian Regal, the owner of South Point Hemp in Union, Missouri, about 50 miles southwest of St. Louis. Today, he's handing out free samples, but after an executive order from Missouri Governor Mike Parson, the hemp-derived edibles he makes at his shop could soon be banned. On August 1st, Parson announced an emergency ban on psychoactive hemp edibles, products that have been mostly unregulated since the 2018 Farm Bill. Before 2018, the cannabis plant was basically illegal to grow in any form, but federal law now classifies it as either legal hemp or illegal marijuana based on the amount of a chemical called Delta-9 THC, which gets people high. This allowed farmers to grow hemp to use as fiber and grain, but it also opened the door for 2 types of hemp-derived psychoactive products to enter the market. The first is any product that has low amounts of Delta-9, such as Regal's drink. The other type is products with similar chemicals, such as Delta-8 and Delta-10. These are most often made by chemically converting compounds like CBD, which is naturally plentiful in cannabis. These chemicals can get users high very similarly to Delta-9, but hemp producers say because it's not Delta-9 specifically, it's legal hemp. But others say that argument is shaky.
To me, that's a loophole. Others would argue that that was the intent of the law.
That's Eric Leese, an assistant professor at the University of California, San Diego. He studies cannabis and works with officials to draft regulations.
I don't know. I mean, I wasn't in the room when they were writing the law, but to me, and lots of states are deciding, the intent of this was for industrial uses and not a workaround to get psychoactive cannabis.
Lease is in favor of banning these products until they are thoroughly researched, especially in states like Missouri with a regulated market for Delta-9, a drug with much more research indicating it's safe.
Doing all right. Would you like to try a sample?
While he disagrees that it should be banned, drink retailer Brian Regal says he and others have been lobbying for regulations for years and self-regulating in the meantime.
Bankers are calling, asking what's going on, what's going to happen, how we're going to cover the bills. I don't have those answers.
Regal noted at the press conference announcing the ban, Parson didn't address how the order would impact Missourians trying to run a legitimate business, instead directing his attention and ire at supposed overseas manufacturers who market toward children. So he says local hemp players feel caught in the crossfire. In fact, Regal says he might move his own business out of Missouri. The concert goers sampling and buying his product now say they like how the drink tastes, how they feel, and they appreciate that they don't have to drink alcohol to have a good time. But a hemp-derived THC substitute might not be an option for much longer.
That was Harshan Ratanpal reporting. The Gateway is a production of St. Louis Public Radio, a listener-supported service of the University of Missouri St. Louis. Music by Ryan McNeely of Adult Fur. I'm Abby Larico, and from the St. Louis Public Radio newsroom, this has been The Gateway.